Okay, in this video, I'll guide you to know how to from this data set, right? And we can know how many employees are in this list, right? This is the employee data, a very basic one. So as you can see, there are 10 employees, and then how many of them are actually left the company, right? So you can also see that is one, the, those who say yes, right, is the one that left, right? So one, two, three, right? So three. And then the department as well. So now at the end, we're going to create something like this, right? So how to do that, right? So let's see. First step is that we're going to find out how many staff are they are left, right? So but first we need to uh, insert the data, right? So we just click on the Excel book, right, and then look at we're going to download some simple data. Okay, we'll just load it, right. Now you can create this simple data yourself, right? Because it's really just a few, right? All right there. So it's like loaded here already. As you can see, it's loaded. It's just like there, and then I can simply right click and rename it so that it become something easier to read, right? So let's say I call it employee data 2. Now, and then I created a new page. Now I want to know that to show how many employees are there, right? So right there, right? So there is no currently there's no way to show that yet, right? So I can show a table, right? I can show a table all the names, right? Of course, then I can do, right? But I want a summary of how many employees are there, right? Imagine this is not 10 employees, but something 1,000, right? So I want the summary of that, right? Um, so how do we get that? So we can use that. Um, um, so that's why we really create a measure, right? A new measure, and this new measure is working on that total employee, right? And then we're going to say that we want to know how many rows are there, because basically that's the oh this is the DEX measure to help you to count how many rows are in the table, right? So then we supply that with the table, right? So this is going to be the table employee data 2, okay, and then call enter. All right, so we can't use the same one because earlier we have, right? Oh, great. That's a good learning point, right? So let's just put there number 2, right? So enter and see if that works. Oh, yes, that is, right? So now we can create a cart and then we drag it here. All right, so we got 10 employees, but we want to know that is how many of them are left the company, right? So we got to do some modification on this measure, right? So we already calculated the total employees, but now you got to tell Power BI that, hey, let's exclude those that is uh, attrited, right? So how do we know that, right? Is that looking at this attrition column, we check that if it's we want to know how many is left, right? So we just count 1, 2, 3. So as just count rows, but the thing is that we will actually look at all those that is yes, then only count, right? So okay, so it still count rows, just that it count on a different set of data, right? So now let's go to the new measure, and to do that, we want to do is called the attrition count. Okay, the attrition count, right, is modified from that things, right? So calculate, and then we just call the total employees 2, and then comma, and now we're going to spell out the differences, right? So let's see, attrition. Well, you have that, right? So let's look at the right there. This column, right, contains those who say, those who type yes, right, is is the is the one that left, right? So enter. Again, right? So because I already done here, right? So it can't be the same, right? So just put the 2 here, and well, in fact, it's counting here, right? So can we just move here? No, we can't move like here, right? So I'll show you later how to do that, right? Let's look at a card account item again, right? I'll just drag this item to here, and you can see this attrition 2, right? So now I can go here, measure tools, right? The home tab is not this, it's right here. We can change it, right? So we then move it to here, okay? And the next thing is that I want to know the rate, attrition rate. So we have 10 employees, 3 left, right? So how many percent left, right? The company. So to do that, we will use another measure. So go to select the table and then choose the new measure. And then right there, we just call it attrition rate. Attrition rate, and then we just we use the power DAX called divide, and then we use the attrition count, which we already earlier has already calculated, and then divide by the total employees, right? And then if for if you divide by any 0, right? So there's no employee, then we give you 0, right? So there's no employee, right? So as I enter that, again, yeah, I've done that again, right? So I'll just put that 2, okay, and enter. Let's see, right? This is the addition rate, right? So now again, I create card, and then I change to the addition rate. Yeah, there you go, right? So right there is 30%, right? So now right 3 divided by 10, right? So now let's look at also create a where is it, the column chart, right? Now I drag my total employees here. Well, of course it's 10, right? And if I drag my attrition count, and of course it's 3 out of these 3. Now I copy this and paste it right to the other side. Now I just drag my department to the column field, and I can further find out that, hey, how many of them are, where are they going from, right? So this is from here. It's a bit of details, right? And I can also create a table, and then I can say that let's analyze by department, right? What is the attrition count? And yes, we got 1. And then what's the attrition rate, right? Let's look at this. All right, that's it. I can see that attrition rate for each of the departments, right? This is 50%, and so on. Okay, that is the very basics of this using the count rows, and also the count rows is to find out the total employees, and then if you want to count just the attritions, you can use these, right? Just apply it with this, calculate, and then if you want to know the rate, you can use divide DAX. So I do have this here, right? So let's look at what is calculate. Okay, calculate is a lot, right? I explained quite a lot here, right? So as you can see here, I have all these notes that I decide all this while, right? So let's see, where is the calculate? It should be somewhere at the bottom. Okay, I guess that's one. Maybe this is one. Nope, this is calculate, but not exactly the one. Okay, maybe it's here. Okay. At a very good guideline here, right? So, but let's just see, analyze. No, right. There are many ways to find that calculate, calculate, calculate. Okay, calculate. So you can see that calculate. Okay. Yes, this is one of them. Uh, by default, filter arguments in such as calculate are used as the context for evaluating the text. As such, filter argument for calculate replace all existing filter over the same column. But the filters, right? You can see that this is more complex, right? But just to let you know that it can be go very complex. Okay, got this here. So you can see there's a lot of modifications that's here. Explain that. You can even do apply a filter. Right, let's see. Ratio. Ratio. Is that here? Wow. Ooh. Yeah, you can get the year of sales right using this. Yeah, as well, right? Cool. Wow. Okay, right. I guess I gotta use the matching that. Okay. Okay. That's one, right? Only, but only for products. Yeah, you can get this. If you have a tertiary, you can get this as well. Let's see. Okay, so this is yeah, this is what I earlier done, right? So you can see that the calculate functions evaluate the sum of the sales table sales in a modified filtered context. A new filter is added to the product table, color, or the filter or write any filter that's already applied. So you can see that a new filter is added to the product table. Okay, color, or the filter or write any filter that's already, yeah, I remember what it's called, the key filter. Okay, let's see here, right? So originally have this. Now if you apply that, then it becomes this. Okay, if you apply filters that they say I remove that's all, then you return this, then you do some here. Yeah, the picture it will be like this, right? So you can also say something like that here, right? So that's why it modify here. Ooh. So you can see that. Wow. Okay, use the as a cursor. Yeah, this is another way to explain. Yeah. Yeah, there's another keep filter, right? Keep filter is different. Yeah, use this to calculate. Great way. Filter. Okay, let's compare comparison, right? So that's what I earlier did. So if you refer measure calculate rates by using a table, you base any filter that might be applied to the well, it will replace any filter that might apply to the products table. Okay, and then the keep filter ensure any existing applied to preserve any color, right? So right there, ratios. Okay, so graphically will be like this. Filter, wow. Okay, I think that's over. That's the last one I did. Oh, right there. All right, so this is something more complicated, right? So, but the thing is that you will use it this calculate as its most simple form, but I can count something and then I can modify it by using the attrition count. Thank you.